Okay, good morning, all of you. So, welcome back for the IQM lecture. So, yesterday we have started the chapter number 7, Statistical Process Control, SPC. Okay, so this is a today we will complete theoretical part, and from next lecture we will start the problem. Okay, so there are two types of problem. So, we will discuss that problem, and only one chapter is remaining. Is it right? So, what we have discussed yesterday? Wait. Okay, so we already started the chapter number 7, that is unit number 7, statistical process control. So last day we have discussed whatever the basic information about the statistical process control, what is statistics, process and control. So from last three chapters, okay, we are studying the controlling. Is it right? Controlling is nothing but the in quality controlling we are discussing. Okay, but controlling is nothing but the supervising or measuring whatever the operation or process, or that may be for the service or that may be for product also. Okay, so introduction of SPC we already completed. A control charts for the variable attributes. So last lecture we have started the basic information about the control chart. What is upper control limit, lower control limit, center line, which are the variables, attributes. So that points we already discussed. So we will discuss today remaining charts. Okay, X chart, R chart, P chart, C chart, basic information and problem on P chart and C chart. So very simple problems are there. So process capability. So we will finish that remaining theory today. Is it right? So statistical process control is use of statistic techniques. Okay, to control already we have discussed. So basic statistic is nothing but the branch of science deals with collection, tabulation, interpretation and the presentation. Why we have implemented the statistical SPC in your our quality control? Okay, because that statistic is nothing but the science of collection of data. Okay, for example, for the proof, for the presentation, for the advertise. Okay, so reach your product into market. For that purpose some data is required. Is it right? For every time, everywhere. Okay, so that is a certain process, certain methodology is there. So what, suppose we want to buy one sorry purchase, sell our product in market. So what will be the procedure? So first of all we have to do one survey of market. Okay, which customer is can be attracted to your product. Okay, other like your product, number of companies, number of products are in market. So how our product will be different from other. Okay, when people will ask your product, they will demand your product. Okay, so that points, that survey we have to done first of all. Okay, now that survey, suppose you have taken 100 survey in areas. Okay, in currently number of surveys are online also. Is it right? Suppose whenever you are watching any YouTube video also. Okay, sometimes the links are coming here. Okay, so surveys are there. So like that online surveys are also there available today. So after survey, suppose for example we are sending whatever the information on Google Drive. Okay, so generally for our information I am generally sending the one Google form. So this is also one of the example of the survey also. Okay, so I am sending one Google form to you. For example, ISC submission link. Okay, so what we have done there? So I have given one link to you, and according to that link, I have asked your roll number, okay, your name, ISC file, whatever that file, and what we will do, I will do. Okay, at the end of that submission, so I will collect, definitely automatically that collection will be there. So I will open that, I will check whatever the question papers, and I will display the mark. Okay, so this is the same procedure for the statistic. Okay, so this is a, so nowadays number of tools are available for the statistic. Okay, so but in previous decades There was some different big files are required. Okay, for that time computer were not there. Okay, so for that purpose, so today number of tools, number of charts, number of control charts, okay, so that are available in market. So this is a main basic thing or main basic information requirement of the statistic. Okay, आता कोण जॉईन होते अजून. Okay, so tabulation, interpretation, and the presentation. So customer or whatever data you have collected, that should be presentable. Okay, that should be understood by the next people. Is it right? So for that purpose, some tabulation or some graphs, interpretation of that data. Okay, so that will be considered in the statistical process control. Whenever you will get an idea about statistics, definitely this chapter is very easy. Is it right? So, but this is a fully or totally industry oriented chapter. Okay, whenever you will go in industry, so you will get an idea, you will get information. Okay, and training also. So how to control, how to manage that control charts. Is it right? So different displays are there, different control devices are there, controlling devices, different displaying devices are there. Okay, so according to that output, you have to control whatever that process or service. Okay, this is already we have discussed. Statistic process control, singular mean also we have discussed. Now control charts, number of control charts are there. So how to control? Because for the controlling singular data, okay, so from the lot of data, this is very difficult to control that data. But whenever you will use the some automation, some control charts, so definitely your time will be saved. Okay, and your process or your delivery of that product will be fast. Is it right? This is a main importance of the innovation, and you can say that the computerization. Okay, so this is nothing but the control charge benefit. Now basic information, upper limit, upper control limit, lower control limit. So according to different charts, X chart, R chart, okay, range chart, we can say that P chart, C chart. So these are the charts developed from some academicians. Okay, so they have given something name to them, and each and every charts methodology is different. Okay, nomenclature, some whatever that variables, attributes are different. So whenever you will look into that into any process, so you will get an idea about how to solve that problem with the help of that chart. Okay, so we will try to study that charts also. Sampling also discussed, but today we will discuss again sampling, because one another point is there. Now control limits. Now for already we know, okay, what is limit is nothing but upper control limit, lower control limit. Our product or whatever the reading should be in between upper control limit and lower control limit. Is this is the main motto. Okay, so every quality control engineer will maintain that ratio. Is it right? So already we have discussed the process not in control. Then how graph will be displayed? Is it right? So these are the some precautions while checking or while controlling the process. Now R chart and X chart. So R chart is nothing but the something. These are the charts given by some methods. Okay, so representation types. For example, in last chapter we have discussed 7 tool of quality control. Okay, in that bar chart is there, histograms are there. Okay, scatter diagram is there. Okay, cause and effect diagram is there. These are the some types. But in statistics, X chart, R chart, we can R chart is nothing but the range chart. Okay, so we will discuss one by one. Now what is the main use or what is the basic information about the R chart and X chart? So these charts are used for measure numeric data from the process. Is it right? Suppose something process is going on. For example, so co-vaccine or Covishield vaccines are manufacturing. Okay, so for one day something, for example 50 lakh 60 lakh vaccines are manufactured. Is it right? So this is something process. So under that process, the number of plots or number of processes are there. Okay, number of things are there. So controlling of that process will be help. For that purpose the X chart and R chart will be useful. Now why? Because whenever there is a no 100% efficiency, is it right? So for that purpose some number of defects may be there. Okay, suppose for example there is a some chain is going on. Okay, suppose filling of that remdesivir or say filling of that for example covaxin liquid inside that bottle. Okay, but due to some error of that process, okay, so any one or two bottle may be empty, is it right? So this is nothing but the defective. Okay, so we have to control that. Now how to remove that defectives? Okay, how to recover that defective? So for that purpose, whenever now that will when we will get an idea this is a defective, so we will get that information on that control chart. Okay, because this is observing that process. This is nothing but computerized process. There is a no man-made process. Okay, my computer sensor may be there, so that sensor will senses that whatever the sequence count pulses. Okay, and that sensor will give information to the controller, and that controller will display, and according to that display, so whatever that quality engineer or quality control human being is there. Okay, so that will take an action about that whatever that output of that control chart. Okay, so this is a basic information used for the numeric data. Okay, now start with at least 20 subgroups of observed values. So this is some limitations or some criteria of that charts. Okay, so subgroups usually contains 3 to 6 observation each. So this is a so we will discuss again. I am having images also. So subgroups usually contain 3 to 6 observations. For the process to be controlled, both R chart and X bar chart must be in control. Okay, so this is a mandatory. Okay, the R chart. Now what are the basic R charts? The monitor variability in process. The characteristic of interest is measured on a numerical scale is a variable control chart. Now here the in R chart, or we can say that the range chart. Okay, range. Now according to his name, so we have to control whatever the range. For example, something lot is there. Is it right? Suppose we can say that the some food products are there, or some drugs are there. Okay, some groups are there. For example, whenever you will look into the medical drugs, okay, so tablet, if you consider the tablet, okay, so within one packet minimum 10 tablets are there, 15 are there. Okay, 20 may be there. Okay, so this is some standard group. Okay, so we have to maintain that numerical scale. Okay, in R chart. So these are the basic requirements. Now shows the sample range over time. Range difference between smallest and largest value in the subgroup. Okay, range is nothing but the we have to find out whatever the data. So I will share that again. Wait. So what is actually R charts? Okay, so I will show that. So this is a R chart diagram. Okay, so what is a range? Is nothing but, for example, they have taken the defectives. Okay, in horizontal axis defective and whatever the production in vertical axis. Okay, so this is for example 1 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30. These are the some lots. Okay, so R chart is nothing but they are observing something whatever the lots are there. Okay, so this type of example may be in share market also. Okay, if you are knowing about the share market graphs. Okay, so there are also this type of charts are using. Okay, so while controlling, now here the upper control limit and lower control limit is there. Okay, for example, according to his company's requirement, okay, or standards, some standards, they have taken the upper limit, upper control limit and lower control limit. Okay, suppose in 18.9. Okay, and horizontal defectives are 60. Suppose for example this is nothing but horizontal time may be there. Okay, or 60 number lot may be there. Okay, but here the red dot is there. Now this is nothing but the defective. Okay, so we will get idea whenever this type of result will get, and according to that controller will find out, okay, where is the actually defective or where is the actually error. Definitely we can take the action about which where is the location. For example, in this is a crossing the limit, upper control limit. Okay, so we have to go there in 16 lot. Okay, suppose for that purpose we have to check that 16 number lot, what is actually error. Okay, so this will be useful for the calculations. Okay, so these are the R chart. Okay, this is example of R chart. Same X chart is also there. So we have to focus into range. Okay, whatever the lot, whatever the some standard group is there. Okay. Huh. So now process of R chart. Find the mean of subgroup range, the center line of the R chart. Okay, as per we already visited that image. Okay, so we have to find out first of all mean of the subgroup range. So for example 0, 10, 20, this is nothing but subgroup or range of that R chart. Okay, after that compute the upper and lower control limit for the R chart. So we can compute the upper and lower control limit. Use lines to show the center and control limit on the R chart. So definitely dotted lines may be drawn there. And plot the successive subgroup range as the line chart. Is it right? Already we have discussed, we have visited that. Okay. Now again, this is a basic about the R chart. Okay. So this chart, P chart and X chart, whenever we will solve the problem on P chart and C chart, so we will get an idea. This is very simple. Now the X chart, same as R chart, shows the mean of successive subgroup over time. Here the time is very important in in X chart. Okay, so monitors process average. So to calculate or to maintain the average. But in previous R chart, what was there? So they are concentrated on the subgroups. Okay, or something lots are there. Okay, but in X chart, monitor process average. Okay, so they will maintain or they will try to maintain an average of that process. Okay, suppose suppose our industrial time is from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Okay, or some that is the first shift, or second is again 4 to 12, 12 to 7. So this is nothing but the rotating shifts are there. Okay, suppose from suppose we have started the work from 9 a.m. Okay, 9 a.m. to 12 a.m. This is continuous work may be there. After that, 1 hour break may be there for the lunch or for the washroom purpose. Okay, so now by considering all that factor, so that manager we have that given by some target. Now to achieve that target, we have to maintain the time also. Okay, so that time, that purpose X charts are very useful. Okay, so that X chart will give you signal, huh, this is work is remaining, so you have to finish within that time. Okay, so time is very important for the X chart. Okay, so actually what is X chart we will discuss again. Must be proceed by the examination of the R chart to make sure that the variation in the process is in control. Okay, so what is the, so in R chart we have discussed the range is very important. Now that range we have to compare into the time. Okay, this is again R chart. Okay. Huh. So this is X chart diagram. Okay, X bar chart. So what is X bar chart? Here the groups summary statistic. Whatever the limits are there. कोण येतं रे एवढ्या लवकर? So this is the X chart. Okay, so what are the their control limit? Lower control limit, upper control limit is there. Okay, some readings are there. Okay, so groups. For example, here groups are there, and whatever the according to time. Okay, in X chart we have to maintain the record with the respect to time. Okay, so suppose for example readings are there. Okay, these are the readings. Okay, whenever this is a here. Okay, for example, point this point has crossed the upper control limit. Definitely average may be disturbed. Okay, so main part of X chart, so they are maintaining the average. Okay, average where we will get average, so according to the center line. Okay, so they will try to maximum weightage for the group summary statistic about 3. Okay, whatever that 3 reading is there, so that industrial worker or that machine may be trying to maintain that reading, okay, while completing his work. Okay, so number of charts are giving same advantages, sorry, information. For example, in our college also one FFT analyzer is there. Okay, so what is the main purpose of that FFT analyzer? Fast Fourier transformation. Okay, this is nothing but the one vibration measurement machine. Okay, so in our vibration lab this machine is present. Now in that also same graphs are there, but we have to maintain, we have to check, we have to analyze that graphs. Okay, so according to that graph, the controlling with the help of different statistics, the controlling is very easy and effective. Okay, so for that purpose, uh, these types are important. Now basic information: compute the mean of the subgroup mean, compute the upper and lower control limit, because here the average is important. Graph the subgroup means, add the center line and control line. This is the procedure of X chart. Okay, so also I have given in notes also. Okay, now again control charts for the proportion, P chart, control chart for the proportion. So proportion is nothing but the P chart. Okay, control charts for the proportions is an attribute chart. Show proportion for the non-conforming items. Example: computer chips. Count the number of defective chips and divided by total chips inspected. Okay, so we will discuss. We will take a problem on P chart and C chart. Okay, definitely that point will be covered. ओके, पी चार्ट आणि सी चार्ट प्रॉब्लेम घेतोय आपण उद्या ज्याला, आत्ता होणार नाहीत. 1 तास लागतो एका प्रॉब्लेमला सोडवायला. नाही 10 मिनिटात होतोय खरं, पण फॉर द डिस्क्रिप्शन 1 hour may be required. Now after control chart, so we will try to finish the theoretical part first of all. So process capability. Our next point is the process capability is a statistical measurement of a process ability to produce part within specified limit on a consistent basis. Now here also process capability is nothing but one of the type of charts also. Okay, or controlling. Our section name is a quality control. So we have to maintain quality with the help of different processes, different charts, different softwares. Okay, so process capability is a statistical measurement of the process ability to produce part within the specified limit on a consistent basis. Now process capability tells you if your process is capable for making part within specification, and that process capability will tells you if your process is centered between the specification limit. So that process will give you information about whether that process is suitable for some time or not. Okay, so this is the main purpose of the process capability. Now actually what is the maximum capability? Okay, suppose we have asked for that Serum Institute, send me, suppose Maharashtra government has demanded, okay, send me 1 crore COVID vaccine today only. Okay, is it possible? Okay, so we have to consider that capacity of that industry also, capacity of that machine. Okay, now this is also one of the type. Now that process capability will be observing the capacity of that machinery, capacity of that industry, and according to capacity they will compare the production. Okay, and according to your requirement they will give information, they will production, they will give product to you. Okay, so this is the main basic importance of the process capability. Okay, Now this is some targets are there. Okay, suppose see here. Now good capability and poor capability. Okay, good or bad in terms of we can say the capability. Okay, suppose something capacity of capability of each and every machine, each and every human being is different. Okay, according to his whatever the number of parts, number of character, sorry, number of variables may be there. Okay, so whenever the good capacity, when we will say, so whatever that limit, upper control limit, lower control limit, here the lower specific limit and upper specific limit is there. Okay, whenever that, whatever that acceptable quality products may be there, so that should be in between lower specific limit and upper specific limit. Whenever they will cross lower specific limit and upper specific limit, that will be considered in the poor capacity. So we have to maintain the average, we have to maintain the process capability. Okay, so this is a basic information of the process capability. Now next point is acceptance sampling. Okay, already we have discussed this point yesterday. Okay, but we will take one small revision on them. Acceptance sampling is concerned with inspection and decision making here. Now sampling already we have discussed, but acceptance, which lot we have to accept or reject. Okay, and take the decision on them. Now here the inspection and decision is a different parts. Okay, whatever that supervisor will give or whatever that quality engineer will give information about the inspection. Okay, they will inspect each and every point or machineries, and they will give a report to you. Okay, but you have to decide which lot we have to reject or which lot we have to accept. Okay, so for that purpose the acceptance sampling is one of the concept. Involve random sampling of an entire lot. Accept and reject lot does not achieve quality improvement. Lot sentencing audit tool. So we can generally say that the audit tool of that acceptance sampling, which sample should be acceptable or rejected. Okay, so this is the procedure of the acceptance sampling, basic process, inspection, and the whatever that sampling and customer. Okay, inspection, customer, and whenever any product will be rejected from the inspection. Okay, any product will be rejected from the inspection, definitely we have to scrap or rework. Now we have to take a decision on that product only. Is it right? If any rejected lot may be there, so how to reuse that lot? Okay, so that will be in scrap also, that will be in rework also. Okay, for example, one bottle may be there. Okay, glass bottle may be there. Suppose that glass bottle will not fill by that liquid. Okay, so we can rework that. Okay, मग तीच बॉटल पुन्हा आपण वापरू शकतो, बट ती बॉटल जर फुटलीच असेल that will be scrap. Okay, so this is the basic information of the acceptance sampling. Okay, now in under acceptance sampling the operating curves are there. Okay, operating curve is nothing but another one tool is there for the operation. Okay, or quality control. Now operation characteristic curve depict the discriminatory power of an acceptance sampling plan. The OC curve plot the probabilities of the accepting a lot versus the fraction defective. Now here in acceptance sampling we have to use OC curve. Okay, operating characteristic curve. This is nothing but the one graph. Okay, that graph is nothing but the accepting lot versus fraction defective. Okay, so we will discuss that directly. When the OC curve is plotted, the sampling risks are obvious. You should always examine OC curve before using sampling plan. Now, whenever we are going to study the acceptance sampling, so everywhere risk is there. Okay, or while taking decision, definitely or 100% risk is there. Whether we have taken decision is right, maybe right or wrong may be there. Okay, so this is nothing but the definitely risk is there. Okay, so there are also again different types of risk are there. Producer risk may be there, consumer risk may be there. Okay, so we will discuss that. Before that we will discuss OC curve. So this is the OC curve. So OC curve are graphs which show the probability of the accepting a lot given various proportion of defects in the lot. Now we have discussed R chart, X chart. Okay, in that That display is giving information to you. Oh, wait, am I audible? अनम्यूट असं नाही तर मी नाही नाही ठीक आहे हां राईट युअर रोल नंबर शेअर ऑल ऑफ यू so operating characteristic curve x axis shows the percentage of items that are the defective in a lot quality. Okay, already given here. Y axis shows the probability or chance of accepting a lot. As proportion of defect increases, the chances of accepting a lot. For example, 90% chance of accepting a lot with 5% defective, and 10% chances of accepting a lot of 24% defective. Okay, so this is actually basic OC curve. So in x-axis, lot quality, okay, versus number of defects. Okay, y-axis number of proportion defects acceptance lot. Okay, in y-axis accepting lot is given, and whatever the y-axis x-axis is nothing but the number of defects. So according to the continuous process, we have to take sample. We have to take sample from different lots. Okay, and from that lot we have to decide which lot is suitable, which lot is acceptable, with the help of or by considering the consumer producer risk. Okay, sorry, producer risk only. Okay, so we will discuss that what is actually producer risk and what is consumer risk in next slide. So this is a basic about operating curve or OC curve. This is the example. So risk in acceptance sampling. Okay, the basic risk are there. There are two types of risk: producer risk and consumer risk. Okay, while accepting the product. Okay, so let's start with producer risk. Huh. So which risk may be there as we are a producer? Okay, we are the manufacturer of any product. So what risks will be there for acceptance sampling? Now risk will be everywhere. Suppose you have started your industry, any industry. So there is also risk. Okay, so but from that lot of risk we have to take a decision. Is it right? So after completion of that decision, you will start your industry. So again after that the recruitment. Now for recruitment purpose again risk is there. Why? Because whether that recruited person will be work that will complete work very well or not. Okay, so that again risk. Okay, which person is suitable for which department, which person or which employee is suitable for which purpose. So that is also again risk. Okay, so that is nothing but the continuous process. Okay, a fixed process is not there. Is it right? So producer risk. Now sometimes in spite of good quality, the sample taken may show defective units. As such the lot will be rejected. Such type of risk is known as the producer risk. Whenever that lot will be rejected, definitely producer risk may be there. Because why? Suppose operating or manufacturing cost of that product will be definitely loss. Okay, म्हणजे for example बघा, we have manufactured the 10 product. Okay, now according to that product, now for example let's consider that selling price of that product is 100 rupees. Okay, and whatever the manufacturing cost is, I think maybe 50 rupees. Okay, whenever one defective may be there or whatever the rejection may be there, so definitely producer risk is there. And now how that risk will consider? Suppose for example बघा, एका प्रोडक्ट मध्ये एक मॅक्सिमम तुम्हाला product manufacturing cost may be 50 rupees from the selling price 100 rupees. Okay, now transportation, commission, government taxes. Okay, so that price will up to 80 rupees. Okay, so you will get the 20 rupees profit on each product. Is it right? So what is actually selling price of that product? Now 80 rupees is a cost of that product, or manufacturing cost is there. Okay, our total cost of industry, and 100 rupees is a total cost of selling. Okay, now suppose from 10 product you will get how much profit you will get? 20 rupees into 10 products. Okay, किती झाले? 20 into 10. Okay, 200 rupees. Is it right? Now 200 rupees, but if any defective may be there, if any product will be defective or that will be lost, okay, or that will be in scrap, so what will be there? Suppose only consider out of 10 one product will be defective, so what is actually operating cost of that product? 80 rupees. Okay, total cost of that product 80 rupees. So you have to minus that 80 rupees from your entire profit. Okay, so this is nothing but the producer risk. Okay, so every industry, every organization will try to minimize the defective, because this is a very huge risk. Okay, so whenever you will any product will be defective, definitely entire load of that product or the entire price of that process will be reduced from the your entire profit. Okay, so this is the producer risk. Is it right? Now everywhere the producer risk is there. Okay, while transportation, while processing, while marketing also. Okay, while government, suppose some pandemic situation may be there, so again everywhere is a producer risk is there. Okay, so next type is a consumer risk. Now whenever we want to study the consumer risk, so consider we are the customer. Now, what are the consumer risks? That sometimes the quality of the lot is not good, but the sample results show good quality unit. As such, the consumer has to accept the defective lot. Such a risk is known as the consumer risk. Okay. Suppose defective item will not be observed by that consumer, so that is nothing but the consumer risk. Okay. Now that what will discuss that consumer, okay, while buying any product or while buying any um, service. Okay, so they will consider all the result, or they will compare this product into other industries. Okay, now buying any product from industry is also risk, na? Okay, suppose we have taken a one two-wheeler bike. Okay, but whatever that engine problem is there, definitely that is a risk, na? Definitely again average of that vehicle, vibration of vehicle, noise of that vehicle, pollution of that vehicle will be maximum. Okay, so this is nothing but the risk. So at the time of consumer, organization or that industry also should risk about consumer risk. Okay, whenever that consumer will fail to operate that machine, that product, definitely your brand in market will be decreases. Okay, definitely whatever the name of your industry or quality of your industry will be decrease in market, and that consumer will choose other brand of product. Okay, whenever that customer will not be purchase your product, definitely entire journey of that industry will be affected. Okay, so this is the main information about the consumer risk. Okay, so this is all the theoretical parts. Okay, only problem part is remaining. There are two types of problems, so we will try to finish that problem in next two lectures. Okay, so within this current week we will finish chapter number 7, and last chapter is again some tools are there, so we will discuss only theoretical part of that tool. Okay, so near about 80% syllabus is over now. Okay, so only we will take a next week is required for the completion of syllabus. Okay, so yesterday also one practical is missing due to some emergency program. Okay, so we will compensate that problem practically in next practical. Okay, so these are the theoretical information about the statistical process control. Okay, so have you attend message your roll number? Huh. So write down your roll number. Those are remaining. Don't paste again. So I have given one notice regarding referral portal. Okay, those were absent for yesterday's meeting. Okay, morning yesterday 10 a.m. we have taken one meeting. So read all the instruction about that notice and try to take a benefit of that referral scheme. Okay, so message your roll numbers here. So we will stop here. All of you message your roll numbers. Thank you very much for attending this meeting.